Hey everybody, this is Denny.
And this is James from TeaDB, bringing you episode number 83. And so today we are reviewing a Dancong from White2Te, who doesn't really specialize in these sorts of things, but I have always admired their taste in tea, and so here we are.
Absolutely. So this is a Phoenix Oolong, and it smells great. It smells interesting and different. And nice, very aromatic just off the dry leaf, as Phoenixes are often very aromatic. And yeah, I'm curious to try this. These always kind of seem like they're darker roasted than they actually are, but this one smells like it's been kind of a dark roast. So
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you find that I personally haven't drank a whole lot of Phoenix. So you find that they might look dark, and then as you steep it out, it kind of becomes greener in nature.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it looks like there's a strong roast on it, but in reality, it's just
looks like that needs a rinse.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, nice and little
Bubbly.
Little particulate-y. But we'll smell this right now. And actually, we're getting a much yellower liqueur than... Oh, but that just traditional... You know, this is actually... smells much more like a lightly oxidized high mountain oolong to me.
I know, it does have that Taiwanese smell. That's an interesting...
It's more roast in the cup than on the lid.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Interestingly enough, but... So you might give this 2 rinses depending. We'll see how this goes. It looks like a little piece of stock right there. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. I'm still extremely new when it comes to these, and I don't know.
It's probably okay.
I think it's okay. So these can get intense, so I'm gonna leave it at about that. Call that good. And for our first steeping, we'll see. We'll see how we do here. It could be that we dramatically under steep this, but right off of the boil, I don't know. So give it another sniff.
Yeah, and it looks like it is getting a little bit greener, kind of like you expected. Actually, that looks quite green.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not like green tea-ish, but it is. It's considerably lighter than it was before hot water hit it.
Yeah, it smells great. You know, I'm used to the liqueur being much more purple red. Than this. So this will be very new for me. But again, I'm in no way versed with this tea. So,
okay,
let's give it a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm having a hard time placing this, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I think I get sort of elements of wooey mineral flavors.
Yeah.
I think that it's not particularly sweet.
Yeah, it's not nearly
as bitter.
Sweet as those teas. It almost tastes like a wooey, like on its 4th or 5th tea, after a lot of that sweetness has already been brewed out of it. I
get a little earthier vegetal stuff as opposed to I don't know, like flowers and fruit and stuff. Although it smells very sweet and fruity.
It's also pretty lively. It's kind of got a crisp freshness to it too. It's not like super pronounced, but it's somewhat there. Yeah. And I kind of associate that with kind of like a greenness in nature. I
get a green oolong vibe out of this, frankly. With maybe like just the smallest hint now in my mouth of like just a little bitterness on the end of my tongue.
Yeah, I agree. There's a small amount of astringency. I think it's probably a good thing you didn't steep this for too long. Yeah.
Let's give it another go. I think this will be probably the beginning of the best steeps, and we'll do this for that much time. Let's make sure we're nice and tight here. Yeah, this is a different Phoenix than I'm used to. Not that I'm a pro, but a lot of the characteristics with this are looking kind of unique and remarkable to me. For instance, it looks very green. The core itself is fairly yellow.
Yep.
Yeah, and it doesn't taste all that roasted to me. But yeah, I agree. This is kind of one of those more complex, harder to place, plays with your imagination a little more in a kind of a pleasant way, I think.
Yeah.
And the flavor is lasting in a really pleasant
It is
way.
on kind of like the tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cheers. What are your impressions? I'm getting a little bit of like a honey sweetness this time around.
There's definitely some sweetness there, but it's definitely not all that pronounced. Definitely a fair amount of minerals.
I think so too. That's what I tasted a lot of. Yeah.
A hint of a roast. I mean, some roast. Maybe a little bit of barley corn. I'm having a very difficult time placing this tea, and I think maybe it's because I lack the experience with this sort of tea. I've had it maybe just a handful of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of the closest I can get to placing this is kind of at the Taiwanese oolong. Not super lightly oxidized, but towards that spectrum.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. I think the minerals aspect is pretty spot on. I think this is hard to place for me too. So one of the questions I'm immediately thinking of, and I'd love to hear your feedback, James, is what does that mean to you in terms of your preference for it? Does it mean that, oh, it's hard to place, I don't like it? Or does that have no value association with it, no judgment? You know, are you enjoying it?
I think when I say that, there's not a ton of judgment passed on it. I wouldn't say I love this tea, or I'm not even, it's just hard for me. Usually when you're drinking a new tea, you have like a baseline, and you're comparing that tea with the baseline, and maybe it performs better, maybe it performs worse, or maybe it's similar. And I just lack a baseline for this tea. I'm having a hard time just comparing it with past experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks to me like a more fermented Taiwanese oolong with some big old leaves.
The base material looks average.
It
doesn't look great.
Not full, huge, intact leaves.
Yeah.
And then the liqueur is really...
The nose is very Taiwanese.
Yeah, I was going to say, the liqueur, this betrays something like a Taiwanese oolong, and I would put it in that category if I was tasting this blind, but it's not quite there. It's different somehow. I think it's really good. It's definitely challenging and interesting. And I think this would be a tea that you need to pay attention to. It wouldn't be very good or be hard to drink with food. I couldn't see this as being the first tea I would want to taste in the day. But more of a specialty tea, something to bring on the show, something to try and see if you like it, if it sort of suits your preference and fits well or not. Actually, I'm enjoying this, but it's hard. It's hard to place.
Yeah, the closest I might have right now is Dong Ding-ish, but only vaguely.
Maybe like there's a Floating Leaves has had a kind of a lightly oxidized Dong Ding that I think fits the bill pretty well. Although that was pretty sweet too.
Definitely not the heavily roasted Dong Dings, but kind of towards that greener spectrum. But not verdant green. This is definitely not like a nuclear green oolong or anything like that.
Let's give it another shot. This is our third steeping.
So some of that crispness has died down now. So there's a little bit less bitterness. I get some grassy, just really mild grassy astringency to this.
Yeah.
Having a little bit easier time drinking it now.
Yeah, actually I think that it's evolved and become a little bit more approachable.
Yeah, it's a little bit smoother.
Yeah, it definitely, I think, fits that mineral vibe. I'm getting a very small hint of like citrus, zesty sort of stuff in the... It's almost a taste, mouthfeel experience. This is it's hard for us at this point, I feel like, to get stumped by tea, but it's I kind of appreciate getting a little stumped by this tea.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to White2Te for sending this over. Check those guys out. Try this and let us know what you guys think. It's definitely distinct. I don't know if it fits even in the traditional Phoenix category.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let me know what
don't
you guys
know either.
think.
Yeah.
Love to hear back your feedback about this tea. And if folks wanted to learn more about, probably not Phoenix. Oh, we've done one. We've only done one.
You've done one in between each other.
Okay, so we've done one so far, but so maybe not Phoenix Oolong specifically, but if you want to learn more about tea, James.
Yeah, so first of all, you should hit that subscribe button above, and check us out at TeaDB.org. We're releasing lots of articles. We also recently released a newsletter. Still kind of figuring out what that's going to look like, but please subscribe to that as well. We're also doing in-between episodes, in between episodes, so you should also check those out. Just lots of content being created for you guys.
Yeah.
And I think that about wraps it up. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.